Greetings, pet lovers. Bridget here with First Street Pets. Today I'd like to give you 3 updates in the world of lost pet recovery. If you're a follower of my channel, you know that I produce a lot of content about lost pet recovery. Videos and articles specific to cats, dogs, microchip pets, or other kinds of situations. What I'd like to do today is give you some updates to those videos with new information that I've recently learned. Pet lovers, there's a new scam out there. If you've seen my video on myths and scams in lost pet recovery, you'll know that there is no shortage of heartless individuals out there trying to make money off of grieving pet owners looking for a lost pet. In this new scam, which you can find in the news, pet owners are sent a text where the alleged finder says, "I have your pet." Of course, the pet owner is excited, so they will text back, "How can I get my pet back?" Then the scammer texts and says, "Well, I need to know that you're a real person and not a bot, so I need you to send me this 6-digit code." Now, none of this makes any sense, but apparently, according to Google, how this scam works is if you give this code to the scammer, they can then clone your phone number and use your phone number to scam others. So if you ever get those scam calls from phone numbers that look like your number or the number of somebody you know or a local number when it isn't, that's how they do it. The bottom line is, if someone contacts you and says they've found your pet, be careful, use common sense, don't give them money until you have your pet back. Scammers will often ask for gift cards, Western Union, or other information so that they can get money, be on their way, and you'll never even know who they are. So please be careful to avoid these heartless scams. The next update is about security cameras. So you'll see that I have a video and article about using security cameras to find a lost cat or other lost pet for that matter. What I would like to add is the fact that not only can you use your own cameras, but you can also use other people's cameras. And this is something that you should add to any materials that you hand out. For example, in my video on posters, flyers, and mailers, I talk about distributing flyers to neighbors, to passersby, to mail carriers, anybody in your area who may see your pet and be able to contact you and provide you with information. Now, there's some specific details in the video about how to most effectively make these posters, flyers, and mailers. But one of the things that I would now suggest adding is if folks could check their security camera footage to see if they have seen your pet. Because often what I'm seeing in the missing pet cases that I'm handling is that often this footage is captured by accident, just like you'll see on crime shows where someone commits a crime and the footage is captured by a camera at a bakery or something that had nothing to do with the crime being committed. So if you put that in your materials that you're handing out and ask your neighbors to please check any recent footage, and they may see your pet. I have seen some animals on my own security camera footage, like this cat, who I've lived here for 7 years. I never saw this cat before. So things are happening out there that we don't see that are captured on security camera footage. So I recommend that you add that to any materials that you hand out, and also ask any neighbors that you see or know personally if they could check their footage and provide you with that information. The third update for today is about microchip technology. So microchips came out in the 90s. We thought it was the holy grail. We thought it was going to solve all problems of lost pets. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be here making these videos if we didn't have a problem with lost pets today. While microchipping does help greatly, there are many factors that people need to understand about how to make that work for them, which are detailed in my other videos about microchipping. Now, one of the things I learned when I was researching the different registries is a new technology that is kind of interesting, and I like where they're going with this. The company is called Save This Life, and they are a microchip registration company, one of many. There are more than 20 in the US alone and many others in other countries around the world. Now, what is different about Save This Life is they have a system where you can search their microchip numbers in a Google search. Now, if you didn't know, normally if your pet has a microchip and it's scanned by a veterinarian or at a shelter, that veterinarian or shelter then has to write the number down, call the chip registry if they're open, try to get a hold of somebody, try to get the information, and then they have to call you, or sometimes the registry will call you, they're all different, and try to get a hold of you, the owner, and get you in touch with whoever has your pet. This is a complicated and many-leveled process, which has a lot of room for error, and unfortunately there often are errors, so this is why it's not a perfect system. With the Save This Life chip, if you have the chip number, you simply type it into Google, just like you would do any other search, and it will actually connect you with the company, give you information, and it will connect the GPS location of the finder with the owner. Now, it doesn't give out all the owner's personal information to anyone who has the pet, but it will give the finder's information to the pet owner. So they can not only get in touch with them, they can actually come out and find you through GPS. So I really like where they're going with this. I like this concept. It's more of a crowdsourcing thing, more of keeping things in the community, not involving, as I said, all these other layers of shelters, veterinarians, having to make phone calls. It seems quick and easy. The only downside is you have to have the microchip number, and the microchip is inside the pet, so it's not visible. I'm guessing that the solution to this is to have an ID tag with the microchip number on it, but that's not something I recommend because anyone could take that number and register it with another registry and claim that it's their pet. So this can get a little complicated. What I would really like to see is an ID tag with a QR code that can do the same thing, where the finder can scan it with their phone, give permission, the owner can get information about where that finder is. I did a little search for this and I wasn't finding anything. The QR code tags I saw didn't have that functionality. They only had the owner's info on them. But if you know of anything like that, please let me know and I'll do a video about it because I would love to hear about it. Thank you for watching today's video. Please check out my other videos on lost pet recovery. I will be uploading a couple more this week on different topics, including keeping your senior pet safe and cat personalities. If you hit the notification bell on your subscription, you will be notified as soon as those videos come out so you can watch them right away.